is up, guys?
Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys on a Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase, and I'm so freaking excited to do this.
I can't believe he's doing this.
I'm excited to
Do you
drink
know how
Drew
long?
Scotch also.
Drew's got a bottle here.
So, Johnnie Walker Blue, I bought this bottle about a year after we reviewed it, which is what, 2015?
November of 2015.
And it says on it, I got it engraved, Drew Bill's Scotch for Dummies. So, we're going to open this sucker today.
I can't believe he's actually going to pull that thing open and open it. So we reviewed this.
Pull the seal, break the seal.
I can't do it.
Do it, man, do it. Don't drop the bottle.
Right.
We
It's not
reviewed it a
gonna break.
little over 4 years ago.
Pull the sideways.
I don't know what our scores were. We try not to look at the scores. I'm doing a re-review.
Correct.
But what do we know about Johnnie Walker Blue? It's probably one of the most iconic, popular bottles globally,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yep.
It's their flagship bottle. Yes, there are bottles that Johnnie Walker produced that are higher priced or whatnot, or more special. But this is probably the most popular one of them all. And price range anywhere from, I'm going to say, 150 US to 250.
Yeah, it depends on your
Season.
area and the time of year.
Right.
There's a little bit of variation, but and I would agree with you. I think flagship is probably a good way to describe it. They have other, like the Ghost and Rare and some of those
Right.
bottles they're a little more expensive. They have a little bit of a unique
More rare whiskey.
blend. But I think as far as accessible whiskeys in this price range category, ultra premium,
Yeah.
I guess is what I would call it. This one is easily found by everybody. Most liquor stores have it, and it is ultra premium, but it's still like you can get a bottle.
And then lots of bars have it too. I mean, this is if you're going to have a premium whiskey at a bar, this is probably what they're going to have.
It's popular. It is prestigious. It has an air of specialty to it, right? Even if you're not a Scotch drinker, this is specialty, right? You see people buying them, and they're bourbon drinkers, and they're like, "Oh, Johnnie Walker Blue," you know.
Well, and Ron White, I remember when he's on stage, he's got a glass of ice and he got a bottle of Johnnie Walker Blue on stage with him.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So as he's doing his performance, he's drinking Johnnie Walker Blue.
So Johnnie Walker, what do we know? Blender, right? They don't
Yep.
produce. Supposedly, what I've heard is this particular Johnnie Walker Blue Label has over 40 different whiskeys in it when they blend it. I don't know if that's true or not. If you look on their website right now, they say they don't tell you exactly all of them or how many, but they do list 3, which are Cardew, Clenleash, and Ben Rennes. It's 40% ABV, which is pretty standard for all of their labels.
Yeah.
They do go above on that on some of them. I have the Johnnie Walker Black Blade Runner one, which I think is a 46 or 49 or
48.
something. But this is 40% ABV. Coloring, I don't know if we know anything about the coloring.
I would assume it's color.
I would assume so.
I would assume so.
It's a blended Scotch whiskey, so they're going to put color in there to make sure it's consistent every time. The flavor should be consistent every time because they don't tell you what's in it. They can blend any combination of things to try and get the same flavor profile every year, every bottle.
Right.
And you're looking at chill filtering because it's 40% ABV.
Yep.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So
Before I get into it and nose it, I'm going to say what I think I'm going to expect. Right? I know that Johnnie Walker Blue Label. So of the Johnnie Walkers, the red, the black, the green, the gold, the platinum, all these, right? The red's really harsh because it's the lowest. I've always found blue and remember blue to be very, very light, very, very delicate. And so I think it gets bashed a lot of times when someone finally does break down and get that Johnnie Walker Blue, that dram. And they're like, I didn't get anything out of it, because they're used to drinking heavy sherry bombs or peat bombs.
Even
or
a bourbon or something, yeah.
Right. It's something really
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm going into this with an open mind. I don't remember what I scored it last time.
No idea.
No idea. Nope.
How about that? 17, right? Or something like that. What was review number?
It was review number 14.
14.
I remember this, and I haven't had it in years. And
Yeah.
the thing I remember about Johnnie Walker Blue is, of all the scotches we've tried, this is the one that I would describe as smooth. It's almost an Irish whiskey. I mean, it's got that very refined, easy to drink palate
Sure.
without a whole lot of. It is light and delicate, from what I remember.
Right.
So
Smooth is a really good term for this one.
Yeah, but
if you have to say smooth.
Some of your enthusiasts or aficionados will say smooth is such a bad word to use to describe a whiskey.
Okay, this tastes red to me.
You make fun of me.
Yeah. So the nose on this is really nice. It's light, it's malty, it's fresh. It's not peated. Obviously, there may be just a touch of smoke in there, but I don't.
They do mention that on the website that they, the 3 that they listed, and then they said, and they Isla whiskeys to get the signature Johnnie Walker smokiness. Is what
Okay.
it said. So there is some Isla.
It smells really nice, very pleasant. No sherry bomb,
I actually got a hint of acetone
Really?
on the very initial.
I did too. I would.
Did you
It's
really?
kind of wafted off just a little bit, and I don't know if it's because it's a brand new bottle. I don't know if it's the neck pour, or if it was because the Scotch is so light that you're getting a little bit more of that alcohol nosing.
Yeah, it could be.
Lots of linen too on the nose, and,
Yep.
and I hate to say it, but just a smidgen of like orange zest, like just the zest part of it.
So, do you guys smell any grain whiskey? We didn't mention this is a blend. There's grain whiskey in this, okay? And
I do.
Yeah, I think so.
do too. I
Yep.
really do.
I think so.
The only Johnnie Walker label that doesn't have grains in it is the green, and it's a malt whiskey, a malt blend is what it says. So we can expect there to be
At least some.
right.
40 ABV, so
That's really nice.
really nice and light.
It's a nice. There's just the right amount of smoke in there that balances the light sweetness.
It's not deep, it's not super complex, but it's a nice. I hate to keep saying smooth, but it's well-rounded, semi-maltiness of it.
I get a ton of malt on the nose, a lot more than I expected.
Yeah.
It's heavier on malt than I expected it to be. I expected it to be lighter.
Really quick finish, but there's enough of an aftertaste there to kind of make you go, what is that?
I don't know if it's just me today, but I got your orange zest on it. I got some nice vanilla notes to it. There's a hint of spice on there that I don't remember from trying it the last time. Real easy drinker, but it's more full-bodied than I remember it being.
That's very good observation. One of the things that I think that is accurate. I read their website, and I was telling these guys I was impressed with Johnnie Walker on their website. They've got this how to drink whiskey section, right? And I clicked the link thinking I'm just going to disregard all of this. This can't be anything worth my value. But I read it all, and I was like, all right, kudos to you guys. I got to agree with you. And one of the things that they suggest you do, which I can see in this instance is definitely a value, but I never really take the time to do, is that drinking your whiskey neat, number one, it should take time. This shouldn't be a rushed thing. But they suggest that you rinse your palate with room temperature water while you're drinking whiskey. If you don't want to put water on your whiskey, have water next to it so that you can rinse your palate between
that's a good
sips
idea.
to re-enjoy that whole experience.
Especially at 40 ABV.
And, exactly, and especially when it's such a light and delicate whiskey, if you don't rinse it every time, you very well miss some of those really light and delicate notes.
I will say that the finish is lasting longer than I remember.
It's getting better now.
I've had 2 sips now. That orange is still there.
Yeah.
It's
It
hanging
is.
in, and I'm kind of like, that wasn't a flavor that I was even looking for.
No.
I got more malt on the second sip, and it's a nice malt character, and I don't remember that being in there. The spices kind of tamed down a little bit on the second sip, but I mean, I sipped it a little while ago, and I can still get that malt and that orange. I mean,
I'm
it's
getting some cinnamon in the finish too.
it's real nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah. Definitely a little spice going on.
This is a fine glass of whiskey. I would say to anyone that if you reported this glass and you turned your nose up on it, you have a problem.
Right.
It'd be interesting to
Because
see
it's
this.
just well refined. They've just done a nice job.
Like, what would you compare this to? Is there
Well,
anything?
I got to be honest, right? My memory of it and what I'm experiencing right now are completely, totally 2 different things. So comparing it is, I want to say some things that I didn't expect I would have said in the very beginning. It's much more malty than I expected this to be.
Yeah, exactly. I even to the point where listen, Old Pulteney is malt heaven, right?
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me of that, and that's that malt which I didn't remember before. And now I'm
Yep.
like, where'd that malt come from?
Got a lot more flavor than I remember.
Absolutely.
Who's ready? Anybody?
I want to.
gotta put some water on it.
I got to
Yep.
put the water on it to be fair, and I know someone's going to beat us up over that. But at the end
Too
of the
bad.
day, that's it's the benchmark we set 4.5 years ago. So
This is so long ago. We may have been drinking these out of rocks glasses even.
I'm sure we did.
there's no telling.
Because that would have been November of our first year. We probably didn't have cooling parents at the
I
time.
just put a drop. Like, I don't. Can't put much.
I think it might hold a little bit better than I expected it to because of the fact that it's a little heavier than I remember it being.
I'm hoping to get a little bit of sweetness.
Wow.
Little pop of sweetness.
I got floral.
Lemon.
The citrus notes come out. It held the water fine. I'm kind of surprised.
So you and I were at a bar a couple nights ago with our wives, and we had a glass of something, and we were shocked. I mean, the water it does. I mean, it's such a major difference what water can do, even a drop or two.
Absolutely.
And just a drop already had more zest.
That bottle, I actually want to procure a bottle so that we can review it. I thought it was overpriced at bar prices, but
Everything's overpriced at bar prices.
I mean, this one was exceptionally
Yeah.
overpriced at bar pricing. Yeah. But it was really enjoyable, and I'd like to get it to review. So.
Wow, I cannot believe how much that's really brought out already.
So that's weird because I'm not getting as much punch out of it. Maybe I put too much on it, but
More lemon zest than I had before, for sure. Linen.
It
more
tamed
lemon.
down the maltiness.
Mm-hmm.
But I got your lemon.
yeah, I put too much. I must have put too much water on it, or it's not hit my palate because I don't get a great improvement at all.
Wow.
Adding
The
water.
finish is bigger now. Maltier than before with this
Yeah.
a lot.
And
I think
then-
you got to be very careful with the water.
The
for sure.
spice rolls in. Yeah, I mean, it's 40, so you
Yeah.
can't put much on, but a couple of drops does change it.
Yeah,
I don't know. So I'll start it off.
Yeah?
With you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you think?
I'm kind of wafting between a number. Maybe I can talk my way into it. I'm going to go and start off by saying I'm surprised. I came into this as much as I tell you that I tried to come into this with an open mind, and you come into this with a preconceived, especially if you've been drinking Scotch for a long time. We've reviewed it once before. Huge Johnnie Walker fanboy right here, right? So Blue's always been, my top shelf, and so honestly, I came into this thinking I was going to beat it up pretty bad. And I say that because my palate has grown over the last 4.5 years, guys. I've come a long way, and so I really expected I was going to come in here and probably give it, somewhere around a 2.5 to 3. That's what I expected. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. It's not as light and delicate as I told you it was in the beginning. It's got more meat and potatoes to it than I expected it to. It held water better than I thought it would. It's way more maltier than I thought it was going to be. So I'm stuck between a 3 and a 3.5 right now is where I'm at. Now, at $250, it's a 3. At $150, it's a 3.5. Is that fair to say? Probably not. You guys aren't going to let me get away with that crap. I know. But I'm like I said, Johnnie Walker fanboy, so I want to give it that 3.5, and I know this is the flagship. But if I'm being honest and I'm just being truthful, it's a wonderful dram, and I think it's a solid 3. That's where I'm going to come in at.
I agree with you. It is a solid dram. It is not my wheelhouse, so I will say that it doesn't have the rich flavors that I prefer. It doesn't have. The smoke is maybe just essentially well balanced with everything else, so it doesn't stand out, but it does give you a little bit of that edge to that I do like. I agree that it is. It's a nice bottle. It's not my wheelhouse. I wouldn't pay the money to put it on my bar. I don't think, but if I'm out with friends and we have some extra money, I would consider getting a glass at a bar because it's really well done. But again, don't put any ice on it. Take your water very sparingly, and then you can really enjoy this. So I'm going to give it a solid 3 as well. It is a solid 3. What I'm trying to think, what would make it better for me would be a little bit more changing character over the time. It is pretty unidimensional from what you nose to what you taste to what you finish. I'm not seeing a whole lot of change in that, but it's really well balanced. So that's why it's a solid 3 for me.
Okay. I agree with both of you guys. It's a hard one because I'm trying to be fair, thinking about previous reviews and how we go into complexity of other things, and it's expensive. Mm-hmm. It is all over the. I think I paid $175 for it with an engrave, which is a damn good price for this bottle in that respect. Now, if you take the marketing off it being blue and everything else and compare it to other ones, it isn't very complex. It is very light, but man, it's a good, and like if you pour this in a blind with some other ones, I mean, obviously you'd have to kind of keep them kind of similar, but I can tell you right now, I would really enjoy this one. In fact, it's an expensive first timer, but if you're thinking about trying the Scotch, this is a wonderful, wonderful first dram because it gives you some nice flavors that you would expect in a Scotch. It's at 40 ABV. It's really smooth. It's like and very enjoyable. You can let it sit there for a little bit and really appreciate what it has in there. It's not super complex. Yep. So I'm gonna be fair and try and ding it for that and not think about the hype of being blue. But as a refinement, they've done a really good job of blending it all out. It's really soft and subtle, and you can kind of spend some time with this one and get some more flavors. We talked about orange zest and lemon and some spices. That's all in there. The maltiness came out with water even more, so it's enjoyable. I don't think it's worth a 3.5 because of the price, but I'm gonna go with 3 because it's definitely more than 2.5. And 3, I think, is I'm gonna go 3. Yeah. Simple as that.
Good.
Talk to me, Goose.
I came in with everybody does, right? You come in with a preconceived notion. I remember this bottle, but it's been years since I've had it. So everything that I thought about this bottle and thought what I was going to get into was not what I got into at all. I remember it being very light and delicate. I remember its main defining characteristic being that it was just a really easy drinker. And this it is, but it's got a lot more of that malt character that I wasn't expecting. It had some spice that I don't remember. The citrus notes were very nice. I thought everything was very well balanced and very well done. That being said, you're figuring $200 for the bottle. I would venture to say $100 of that is hype.
Yeah.
Oh man, yep. Probably about right, yeah.
It is.
And I'm not saying whether it's good or bad. Johnnie Walker has done an awesome job of saying that this is the best Scotch in the world. And they spend a lot of money to do it. So they can demand a little bit more price at that point. And the bottle itself is very well done. I mean, the glass is nice.
It's heavy. Yeah.
It's heavy. It's a nicely done bottle. But I think that some of that price can be attributed to the hype and the packaging, and they've done a good job.
Everyone uniquely serial numbered.
It's a non-age statement.
But it is a blended Scotch, and it is, to me, if I'm being fair and honest, it's not as complex. I can think of several bottles in that price range that I would rather have than this. So I'm going to ding it just a little bit, but I think that they've kind of earned that hype. So if you're buying this bottle,
a good statement.
I don't think that you're going to be disappointed by it.
No way.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're buying this for your home bar and you're going to be proudly displaying it, you're not going to be self-conscious about pouring a glass of this for anybody.
No,
I think it's a really nice Scotch. But is it going to be like, it's not a big sherry bomb. It's not an overly complicated Scotch. But it's something that everybody, I think, can enjoy. And I think we talked about that. Yeah. Bourbon drinkers, Scotch drinkers, Irish drinkers. If I poured this for any of them, they're going to agree that it's a nice
That says
whiskey,
something.
That's
true.
That's true.
So I'm really kind of torn. I mean, on the complexity and the price, I think I'm going to have to go like a 2.5 because it's just not quite got that level. And I think that some of the price is attributed to the hype. If you can get a good deal on it, if somebody's got a good deal on it, or like Andrew said, if you just want to have a glass at a restaurant and not buy the whole bottle, then maybe that's okay. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I was stuck between 2.5 and a 3, and I think for the price and the complexity that you get for the price, I'm gonna bring it back down just a little bit. But it's still a really well done glass, and I don't think anybody's gonna argue with that.
And
good statement.
It is, and I honestly, I think we're all three in that 2.5 to 3.5 range, and I'm all over the place going, gosh, I don't know, maybe I don't know.
Well, we're trying to be fair and not be into the hype in our review. It's hard not
and
to.
This one's got a ton of hype.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so so we got 3.3325.
Yep.
2.875.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, that was easy.
It was.
So there you go,
Freaking
man.
calculator.
Johnnie Walker Blue Label.
Hey, do us a
Man.
favor if you're watching right now. Click the like button. It goes a long way for our videos.
If you like the video, hit the like
And
button.
also, if you don't know yet, subscribe. Hit subscribe button, the notification button. We are on YouTube every Thursday night for our live show.
That's so fun.
You bringing this over Thursday night so we can hit it some more?
Absolutely, I will.
It's not going to be.
I'll bring my big
It
glass.
won't be. I brought the blue one and the blue one. All right, man. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Guys,
See you guys.
Cheers.